and welcome to True IELTS. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Jessica, and this is
IELTS Over Coffee. Hi guys, and welcome to lesson 3 of our series of 10 lessons on common IELTS writing topics. Today we're going to be looking at some vocabulary connected to the environment, okay? And this vocabulary is going to help you to sound much more natural and make your writing much more academic. I've got Jessica here with me again to help out. Again, like in the other ones, we're going to be giving you a definition of each word, looking at some common collocations, those are the words that go together with the word, and also maybe some word families, some synonyms, words that have similar meanings, and I'll be giving you some examples of how to use the words. Now, as ever, I suggest that you always pause the video after each word and make a note of them, and make a note of everything that we say in here, and that'll help you to remember them much more. So, like I said before, this is about the environment, okay? And let's get started. Jessica, give us the first word.
Okay, so our first word today is species. So species is a scientific word. It's defined as a set of animals or plants in which all members have similar qualities. So often, when we talk about species, we talk about endangered species. Those are the ones that are at risk of completely dying out. We could talk about a different species, so maybe making comparisons, or we talk about rare species, so ones that you don't often see, or also maybe they are also endangered. Absolutely.
Here's quite a good example for you. Among many other animals, the endangered species list now has snow leopards and rhinos.
Very interesting.
Fantastic. Well, our second word that we're going to look at today is the word evolution. Evolution is the way in which living things change over millions of years, and this is quite a common topic in the environment in IELTS writing. Now, some collocations that we could have with evolution are the process of evolution, the theory of evolution, and a stage of evolution. Did you know we're evolved from apes, and we're actually 98% genetically similar to chimpanzees?
Wow, 98%.
So you're just like a monkey.
Thanks. Brilliant. Okay, so our next word today is diverse. Diverse is an adjective used to describe a situation maybe that includes many different types of people or different things. So we could talk about a diverse range of something, a diverse group of something, or diverse culture.
Sure. So what's the most culturally diverse place that you visited?
Well, I think I'd have to say actually that London in England is possibly one of the most diverse places. You get so many different cultures. I think there's something like 260 different languages spoken in London. Often if you're walking around, you hardly even hear English.
That's true, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's lots of other languages from other countries.
Yeah, it's very diverse, which makes it a brilliant place to live or visit.
It's very interesting, sure. The following word we're going to look at is the word adapt, okay, to adapt. It's a verb, and it means to change something so that it suits different conditions or different uses. Now, some collocations would be prepositions that you use with it, so you can adapt to something, or you can adapt from something else, okay?
So Daniel, how long has it taken you to adapt to the heat in Vietnam?
It was quite a slow process. It took a while to adapt. I'm now getting used to it. I'm a little bit hot at the moment, but I'm okay, yeah, but it took a while.
And I think you've got an interesting quote for us about adapting.
Yeah, Stephen Hawking said, intelligence is the ability to adapt to change, which I really like.
Yeah, that's really very good. Okay, so our next word today is sustainable. Now, this seems to be a bit of a buzzword at the moment. We often hear about it in the media. It's a really important concept for us to have in the modern world. So something being sustainable means that it causes little or no damage to the environment. And the noun of this is sustainability. So we talk about that as well.
Yeah.
So some common collocations: sustainable development, environmentally sustainable, and a sustainable lifestyle.
Absolutely.
So what sorts of things, Daniel, do you think can improve our ability to live a sustainable lifestyle?
Well, I think if people kind of seek to buy, for example, like organic foods and stuff like that, so things that aren't mass-produced, things that don't have lots of plastic, things that can be recycled. And if people start recycling, that obviously is a massive help, not just throwing things away. With food, it's really important. So like trying to grow your own things even. And if you can't grow your own things, then maybe supporting local farms or things like that, instead of just big companies that are producing unsustainable goods.
Yeah, definitely. I think those are all really good goals to have for all of us.
Sure. Okay, now we're going to look at another word which is connected to the environment, and that's fossil fuels. Okay, now fossil fuels are fuels that are formed millions of years ago from dead animals and plants. Some examples of fossil fuels would be like oil, coal, or gas. Those are a few examples. Now, here's an example sentence for you. Many countries still rely on fossil fuels to supply the vast majority of their energy.
Quite bad, really.
It is really, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so looking at our next word, which actually follows on from fossil fuels. So we use a lot of these nowadays, but what we should be moving towards is renewable energy. So this is our next phrase, renewable energy. And this is energy that's produced from natural and sustainable sources. So for example, we have solar energy, wind, tidal, thermal, hydro. These are all things that are being developed at the moment to be renewable and hopefully to replace fossil fuels. So thinking about maybe England or Europe, what kind of renewable energies are being used at the moment?
I think in England there's not much sun, so we don't really use solar power. Although in France, I know that now you have to, every time you build a new house, it must have solar panels. You can't construct a house without it. But in England, I think primarily it's wind power. So wind turbines, windmills spinning around that generate power. But it's still not enough, really. We still rely a lot on fossil fuels. Yeah,
we definitely need more as the future goes.
Okay, the last word we're going to look at is climate change. Okay, and now this is the way the world's weather is changing in response to different factors. Some synonyms for climate change, so words with the same meaning, are global warming or the greenhouse effect. Okay. I think it's causing a lot of problems, isn't it, climate change?
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people don't quite understand the scope of climate change as well. Maybe they just hear it on the news but don't think about all of the different factors that affect it. So I think it's quite a good thing to research more about, and for each of us to make sure that we're knowledgeable about what it is, the factors, and maybe things that we can do to help with the situation.
And all these last three words of fossil fuels, sustainability, renewable energy, climate change, they're all connected intimately under the topic of environment. So that was the last word, and thank you very much for joining us. So we've looked at 8 words today, and kind of more importantly, we've looked at the collocations. Now, as I mentioned in the last 2 videos, collocations are really important. And it's really essential that you write down the collocations, because that's going to help you to sound so much more natural. So many people have good vocabulary, but not good collocations, and they sound unnatural when they speak, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. And also it helps if you learn them using them appropriately, like you said. rather than just trying to connect things that we don't tend to use in our natural speech. So learning those set phrases, those collocations, can really help us to sound like we really know what we're talking about.
Absolutely. So our next lesson will be on education, and we hope you'll join us there. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.